Here we go. Middleweight division back-to-back. This is the co-main event. Shara Magomedov versus MVP Michael Venom Page, 15-0 versus 22-3 at UFC Saudi Arabia. We are here until this fight is complete. And the Saudi Arabian crowd is fired up. Haven't seen a finish in the last 4 fights. Desperately wanting to see a finish in this one. And both guys pacing back and forth, staring each other down. And here we go. This fight is underway. They touch gloves, a lot of mutual respect, and here we go. And already you see that awkward stance by MVP. And that's what I'll be watching here in the first 2 to 3 minutes as they feel each other out, is how Shara will deal with that weird style. And Shara moving his legs back and forth. He's bouncing around too. So both guys with a little bit of, well, maybe not warming up as they both land leg kicks. And it doesn't seem like the weight increase is going to change anything for MVP. He still seems like he's light on his feet. He's still got that wide stance. And he doesn't square up with you. Like, you're not seeing his chest. You're seeing his left shoulder facing you. And MVP almost really putting on a dance here with that arm straight out. And Shara's going to have a hard time figuring him out. And just when you think MVP is backing off or not going to throw, that's when he fires in that big right hand. So you got to be careful. He lands a jab. Shara backs off. Some of the crowd chant MVP, which is surprising. Not much contact here. I mean, it's literally 4-2 in significant strikes in the first 2 minutes. Both guys just trying to figure out a way to fight through their opponent's awkward style. Ooh, and a big right by MVP, and he shoves Shara down. Shara gets back up. And man, MVP is a problem. I mean, he's an absolute problem. And it's a weird situation for any fighter fighting him because you want to get in there and you want to strike, but you got to be worried about that right hand, as there it is again. Now he puts his neck down and Shara gets underneath. But he's got nothing. MVP continues to control him up against the fence here halfway through round number 1. Sometimes a move up in weight class isn't bad for fighters, right? Because they come in and they're just faster than their opponent. And you don't have to cut as much weight, so you feel stronger. Both guys trading leg kicks. Not a lot of action yet. Shara's still up 7-4 in significant strikes. No control time or takedowns. Well, maybe we did have one takedown from MVP. No, he's 0 for 1. So no takedowns yet. Shara's still a 2-1 favorite early in this fight. No head strikes yet for Shara, though. 2-0 for MVP. So very early on, 3.5 minutes gone in the first round, and very difficult for both fighters to make contact, which is exactly what we expected. And whoever can figure out their opponent quicker, which is the case for any fight, really, but especially in this one, whoever can figure out their opponent and break through is likely going to win this fight. Ooh, a big right by MVP. And now he switches left to lefty. Back to righty. And MVP just playing with Shara at this point in time. Another big right. Nearly misses by MVP. Shara not phased, though. He's still continually coming forward, but just can't break through. Final 40 seconds here, round 1. And how do you even prepare for this? I mean, how do you even get an opponent to spar with you and mimic what MVP is doing? You can't do it. I mean, he's one of a kind. Wide stance, continually bouncing around, continually moving in and out. And every once in a while, he'll jump in with that big right. Spinning back fist missed by Shara. Final 10 seconds. Spinning back kick landed by MVP at the end of the round. Could that be enough to give him the round? More than likely. He's up 8-0 in head strikes, 13-10 in significant strikes, and that's where it stands right now. So if you're just looking at the numbers, you got to easily give that round to MVP. I mean, for Shara to go through a full round and not land any head strikes, that's a problem. He's having a hard time figuring out that awkward style that MVP brings to the fight. And we're not getting a look at their own commercial breaks. We're not getting a look in the corner. So all we can do is guess what's being said. But if you're Shara's corner, you got to say, listen, you got to be aggressive. Okay. You got to get in there and try to tie up Michael Page to take away this awkward stance. And if you're not aggressive, MVP is just going to have his way and dance his way to a unanimous decision. That's the bottom line. MVP's corner's got to be telling him, continue doing what you're doing. You got Shara out off balance. He's not used to facing an opponent like you, right? You got 25 high-level fights in your career, and this one is no different. So, that's a situation going into round two. And the question remains, can Shara break through this awkward stance? Round two is underway. Here we go. Leg kick landed by MVP. Already lands a big right to start the round. And that'll certainly keep Shara off balance as Shara lands a jab. Let's go, Shara. There's a big left. Okay. Big right by the MVP. Shara nearly goes down. He's back to his feet. And being aggressive puts you at risk, but it's the only way to beat MVP. Is you got to get in there, keep it in close quarters, not allow MVP to feel comfortable. He just dances around with the wide stance and his hands down. But fighters are afraid to get in there because as soon as you do, he whips that big right hand from behind, and then you're in trouble. So tough situation for Shara. And there's nothing that can prepare you for this. He hasn't seen anything like this. Spinning back kick missed by MVP. Shara still moving forward constantly, but beginning to show signs of frustration. Another spinning back kick by MVP. And if you don't think this is difficult for Shara, all you got to do is look at the in-fight stats. 0 head strikes for Shara Magomedov. That means he's having severe problems finding his way in. And guess what? He's a ranked fighter. So if MVP can win this fight, MVP is going to find himself ranked in the middleweight division. How big is that for him? And for the first time, both fighters come together. They're tied up in the center, and MVP shoves off. Shara lands a kick to the body. Yeah, now the announcers are seeing this too. They're talking about it. 0 head strikes. I mean, that's a problem. You're halfway through the fight. You haven't landed 1 head strike yet. There's a big right by MVP. 2:20 left in a round, and if I'm MVP, about a minute left in the round, I'm going to get a little aggressive, right? Not put yourself in any bad situations, but be a little aggressive and try to win this round as well. Oh, a big right by MVP. Ooh wee. MVP smiling. He's feeling good. more of the crowd's chanting MVP now as they get excited based off what they're seeing. You're taking an undefeated guy who has some experience, but not the experience you got. A lot of questions to be answered by both guys coming into this fight. But the crowd is beginning not to side with MVP. I don't think Shara is losing any followers or people rooting for him here, but they're beginning to be silenced, and the MVP crowd is beginning to pick it up. And, in the welterweight division, you're going to get guys that are more lean, obviously, a little quicker on their feet. You put MVP in the middleweight division where guys are a little slower on the feet and looking for more power, and he can create problems for the entire division. There's no question about it. And we're seeing that here. Spinning back fist, just missed by MVP. Final 50 seconds, round 2. And now just one head strike for Shara. Both guys tied up in the center. MVP walks Shara back into the fence. Final 40 seconds. And he's got to be frustrated. You can hear a pin drop in this arena right now. It's just quiet. As both guys tie up against the fence, you can even hear the coaches talking, which you only hear at the Apex in Vegas, right? When you have a minimal crowd. I mean, you can literally hear the coaches talking because the crowd is silenced based on what they're seeing. And there's a tap. Final 10 seconds, and Shara looking very frustrated. Big right by MVP. And Shara he's not in a position where he's getting finished or anything. It doesn't appear. But he's walking back to his corner with his hands on his hips, looks dejected, and just cannot figure out this awkward style by MVP. And now, if I'm the coach, I'm telling Shara, listen, you're not able to figure this out. You're playing it safe. You don't want to give up the big punch to finish a fight, but now it doesn't matter if you do. Whether you get KO'd or lose by decision, it makes no difference. It's a loss. You have got to go for it. And that's exactly what they're telling him right now. Can't play it safe anymore. It's round 3. You're probably down 2-0, although round 2 was really close, but as close as it was, it's hard to make the case at all that Shara won the round. I mean, he's got one head strike. Down 29-20 total strikes, 29-19 significant, 16-1 head strikes for MVP. So just, it's hard to say domination, but domination in the sense that you're keeping your opponent from doing anything. And I expect a big round from Shara here, but he probably needs a finish. Let's be honest. Now, in some of the close fights, the judges have leaned towards the home crowd favorite. So could Shara have snuck out round 2? I'd say no, but you never know. Round 3 is underway. This is it. Shara takes a big left. MVP sticks out his tongue, so he's having a good time in there right now. He's feeling very comfortable. And I'm expecting at any time a big flurry by Shara. He's got no choice. Now, MVP slowing down a little bit. Now's the time if you're Shara. I mean, he's not bouncing around as much. He's still got the wide stance, but he doesn't have as much movement. Not like he's tired or anything, but just slowing down just enough to where he's in position for you to land some punches. Go, Shara. You got to do something, baby. You got to do something. Big right by MVP. 3:45 left in the fight. And this is the thing for fighters like him. You see the record 15-0. You're like, man, the guy's undefeated. But then you step up against someone who's got a lot of experience, and now you're talking about a levels fight. Fight in which you got to prove yourself against an unranked fighter and MVP. But let's be real, he's definitely in the top 15 of the middleweight division, even if he loses his fight. So not an easy situation for Shara. 3:10 left. MVP lands a left, backs off. And Shara is doing nothing to keep MVP off balance. I mean, MVP is feeling good right now. The fight is totally going his way. 22-4 in head strikes. He's up in every category except leg strikes. And usually those don't do a lot for you. Flying knee by MVP lands. Shara eats it. Now they tie up. Shara spins MVP back up into the fence. And you know, if this is a 5-round fight, maybe Shara starts to take over, but it's not. It's 3 rounds. And Shara's got 2 minutes to make something happen. And he's got to make it happen in a big way. Shara walks MVP back to the fence. And clearly MVP is slowing down. He doesn't have that same bounce, but he's done enough up until this point to keep Shara out of the fight. 145 left. And you never know what's going through a fighter's mind, but that's why the coaches are so important, to keep you honest. You might feel like, okay, I'm not taking big shots. I'm okay in this fight. But the fact of the matter is that MVP likely won the first 2 rounds. Round 3 is pretty close. And Shara needs a finish here. 115 left. And MVP glances at the clock. Now he's bouncing again. He sees it's down to about a minute left, and he's feeling good. Both guys trade lefts. Come on, Shara. Come on, Shara. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Come on. Big right by MVP. Final 45. And the crowd getting loud, tense. They want to see something happen. We're going to be hitting, 5 straight fights by decision? Leg kick missed by Shara. And Shara's leading in this round, but just pretty much dominated in the first 2. And this could be one of these fights that might go to a split decision. And if Shara gets it, people are going to probably be up in arms because he's done nothing to win this fight. I mean, it's not like MVP has done a lot either, but he's still leading. Now MVP lands a leg kick from his back. Final 10 seconds. It's going to finish on the ground. And MVP is just going to hold him here. And that'll do it, man. Wow. Weird fight. Not a lot of action. Significant strikes, 47-39 for MVP. Shara actually took the lead in total strikes, 50-47, but a lot of those leg kicks where he led 16-7. Head strikes dominant the other way, 31-8. And it looks to me that MVP is going to get the win here, barring any type of controversial decision. So, man, I really thought somebody was getting finished here. I knew it was going to be awkward for both guys to figure out their opponent, but just there wasn't a point in this fight where you're like, someone's going to get finished. I mean, it was just MVP keeping his opponent off balance, and you got to imagine this is what he's been doing throughout his career. Now he's had a setback in the UFC, but now he's up in the middleweight division where he's going to be quicker than most opponents. Most opponents are going to be looking to land the big power shots, but MVP keeps you off balance enough to where you can't land them. And just to me, a dominant performance for him based off what we know about Shara's ability coming in. So both fighters circling the octagon, they're awaiting the decision. And hopefully, even though we got Shara winning this fight in the prediction, and we can use as many wins as we can get right now, I just hope they don't steal this thing from MVP based on what I've seen. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Hold your breath. Here we go. 30-27, 30-27, 29-28 easy for Michael Venom Page. He's going to move to 23-3 and should now be ranked in the top 15 of both divisions, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to take a look at that and get back to you, but should be ranked in 2 divisions now. This guy's looking good, and he gets a big win here. Middleweight division, UFC, Saudi Arabia.